Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Grand Arena prep session. I'm still recovering from strep, so you might still hear it in my voice, but I have enough of a voice to speak with, so I just wanted to get out some of these best teams rankings for the upcoming 5v5. And also just want to go over my two philosophy charts for offense and defense. For offense or defense, you kind of want to determine your philosophy first. Whether you're a heavy offensive player, heavy defense, or bespoke, which just means you decide match by match depending on the opponent or something. And the key to each is you scout your opponent, determine what they struggle with in fives, and you put them in the bottom front. For offense, just determine what they're bringing, what they set with frequency, and know you have to handle that. You decide how to counter teams you're likely to face, kind of similar. Which Galactic Legends are not going to hold well in your league. That's something you want to bring on offense. All these things are objectives that you want to consider when you're deciding what to place and what to keep on offense. Classic teams. And then if you want to go heavy offense, you might want to bring extra GLs, even if you don't have a specific plan in place. And then for defense, I still recommend that you set teams that are hard to deal with, no matter how well known on the top wall. So they see it and they know they have to deal with something really hard, and then on the bottom they might make a mistake and go too weak trying to save stuff for the top and then have a mistake. You also want to set strong teams with lower banner potential, which means low protection recovery. That's why I've traditionally set General Skywalker on defense a lot. Then if there's a strong new team you're not sure how to use but you know it's good, I just set that on defense. Like Tuscans are kind of new. When Trench was new, a Seer team, if you're not sure how to best use it on offense, just throw it on defense and make it hard for everybody. And then also, if you're a heavy defensive player and that's your philosophy, you just load up on Galactic Legends too, keeping probably at least 3 for offense. Setting 5 Galactic Legends is hard to maintain on offense. But yeah, just a balancing act, and it's really up to you how you set the walls too, but this is just my philosophy. And this time around, I'm going to be going over pure offensive squads I think really want to go on offense, pure defensive squads you definitely want to place if you have them, if you're going to use them at all, and then flex squads. And it's going to be different from from kind of previous prep videos where I would just look at my own defensive board, because I know enough people watch me now that it's a big disadvantage in my first match or first round if I'm just showing that directly, so I'm not doing that anymore. But let's start with offense, and Supreme Leader Kylo, I think you definitely want to set him on offense. Yes, he can be bulkier with the new set 9 level 3 that gives tons of health and protection, but they still don't have enough bulk to make it worthwhile on defense. I still think Revan and Luke can rip them apart, and it's probably one of the cheapest Galactic Legends to counter. And plus, he's so valuable on offense. You can use him for Jabba. Lord Vader is an option too. Just don't set him on defense. That's just my opinion. I don't know how well he's going to do against Jabba this season. But he's bulkier, and then Jabba has a mixed squad, so it benefits less from the health and protection. Then Jedi Master Luke, I think he is most valuable on offense just because you want to pick your spots. And on defense, yes, it requires Sith Eternal. People only have one Sith Eternal if they have them. But he is just a sitting duck for Sith Eternal, and he's so valuable otherwise. If you want to, you can combine him with Bastila, and that's going to be a crazy good team. But on defense, I still think it's going to get wrecked by Sith Eternals, which is why I wouldn't want to set it on defense. On offense, you could bring the Old Republic characters too and make it pretty survivable. But it's just up to you. It depends. And then Sith Eternal Emperor, he's been making a lot of good progress defensively, and he's always kind of been good on defense. But in 5v5, I don't think it's worth placing him. I think he's just so valuable as a pseudo-solo option for other Galactic Legends or non-Galactic Legends, and you can just give him a couple babysitters, Wat Tambor in the armor, and you can get a lot done. He's also capable of taking almost every Galactic Legend except like Lord Vader, and well, he actually just kind of has trouble with the dark side Galactic Legends, although that can work. It's just difficult. So take him on offense and pick your spots. On defense, Traya kind of needs all the necessary elements. Traya and Malgus need the necessary elements to make him a good defensive team. And then Starkiller, I think this is definitely an offensive team. And people switch it up sometimes with different leads, but I think Palpatine Mara Jade is the classic, and it's great for Rey. It's great for General Skywalker, great for Zori team, just an amazing option to have. It's like Galactic Legend level in usefulness on offense. And then on offense, I think Jedi Knight Revan, if you have Cal, this is probably the best use for him. You put him with Bastila, and this has like Galactic Legend counter potential, I think. Not totally sure. I don't know which ones you do it against. But Revan and Bastila are going to be super survivable. And Cal's the only one not an Old Republic here, which might cause an issue, but he's pretty durable. So you just protect Cal, get him to his insta-kill, and then just knock it out of the park. Yoda here is a little flimsy. It's like a really survivable group of Old Republic Jedi, and then just Yoda's so flimsy. So I don't know if he's the best there. So Jedi Knight Cal, if you have him, I don't. I'd probably put him there. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do with him. And then these are just some classic offensive teams. Bad Batch, not really setting it on defense. I mean, if you put them with Shock, you could make something work, I guess. But I still think they're just so valuable on offense for non-GL teams. Like, just good teams that would be annoying. Bad Batch can wreck them, like Wookiees. Or, I don't know. They might be able to do some against Seer, but I think with the tougher teams, that gets shut down. And then Iden Versio, some people have an Iden that could be put on defense. I do not. My Iden nowadays is sadly relegated to more of a cleanup role, and just whatever Imperial Troopers are left. But my normal Imperial Trooper team is suffering too, so I'm not sure what I do with my Imperial Troopers, but I know I don't want them on defense. And also on offense, we got the Hit Squad. You can add Bam here, and if you could take out a good amount of Lord Vaders, I'd probably, I mean, when you do that, you switch Fennec to lead, obviously. And I don't know if to make room for Bam, you take out Bosk or Zam. That rhymed, that's funny. But that can help counter Galactic or Lord Vader. But then otherwise, this is just a really nice team to have in your pocket. Like, it's pretty durable with Zam, and has great damage with Fennec. And then the insta-killed Mando, sustain with Grief. Just a great team on offense, but on defense, just way too easy to get around, so don't place it. And then obviously Wampa, you can't just set him solo on defense. So he is a one-man train on offense if you were lucky enough to find something that he can beat. And then my normal Imperial Trooper team, I've named them Laid Off Cops for a couple seasons now because I just have a hard time figuring out what to do with them. And honestly, I need to take Stark out of there and put in Dark Trooper, because last few seasons I was using Dark Trooper with Sortie, but I don't want to do that right now. So still a strong team, but the defensive teams are so good, it's hard for me to find uses for them. But they're like an amazing cleanup team. If you have a lone Java left, they're going to wreck him. The Mon Mothma, it's vulnerable in defense. I don't get too much use out of it on offense, but if you do have it, use it on offense. I don't think it's worth saying on defense. Iden Versio rips it to shreds, and people usually bring that on offense. So yeah, don't waste it. And then Radis, you know, if you watch my Grand Arenas, you know I'm completely on the Radis goes on offense train. I put selective counter. He's great against Tuskens, but he's great against a lot of stuff. I think he's pretty decent against General Grievous. It just like they rack up the exposes, and they might be able to flip and do defense this season because they get so much extra survivability from the Datacrons, which gives them a lot more time to get to Radis' ultimate. However, the big counter to them in my mind is bounty hunters, and they don't care how survivable they are. They just get to contract and annihilate Radis. So that's why I'm still not doing that, but they're amazing on offense. Then Qui-Gon Jinn, unless you're willing to sacrifice General Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano, this isn't really going to do much on defense, and it's worth having the flexibility with all the good Jedi on offense. So you could use them with Qui-Gon Jinn, or you could pilfer Mace Windu and Ki-Adi Mundi, and even Anakin maybe, and put them with Jedi Master Luke or Jedi Master Kenobi or something better. And then at the bottom here, we got Maul. I don't like Maul on defense anymore. And they have Bam here, but you could switch that out with Django or something else, and use Beskar Mando somewhere else. But on defense, I think it just gets run over by Imperial Troopers too much. And then if people were setting this more, I would have a good use for my Imperial Troopers. So bring them on offense. And then the Tarvel team, I have nowhere near a serviceable Tarvel team, but I think if you have it, you should bring it on offense and just be choosy with how you use it. Because on defense, it's just a sitting duck for Bad Batch, or maybe even Gidmay, and some if it's done right, if they don't have like, well, yeah, Set 7's gone, so Gidmay is going to wreck this too. But it's mainly an offensive team just because it's not a good defensive team. And that is all my offensive teams. Now for the defensive squads. Starting with Traya and Savage. This is such a good defensive team. You pretty much need a Galactic Legend to kill it. And it would be a flex if because for Reva purposes, but I just think it's such a good team on defense. If you can, just put her there. It's gonna do wonders. You need talent as the 5th. This specific team does destroy Reva most of the time, even with the Deathmark Omicron. But it's just so good on defense. I don't know. It's like find something else for Reva. And a lot of people, I hope, get in the mode of putting Reva on offense because Traya is such an easy counter to her. Yeah, set your Traya. And then Sortie team, it's not like amazing, but in my mind, it's kind of like a timeout bait for like a Wampa team. And then if their Bad Batch goes wrong, you could just actually win. But with the extra bulk, Sortie's going to be really thick. IG-11 is going to be really thick. I have, actually, I don't want IG-11 here. That was a mistake. I want L3. Because IG-11 can go with Scoundrels better. And L3 is a way more annoying tank. And then, I mean, they get the speed. They can be Banner Stealers. And if you use the Old Republic Datacron, which cleanses her, she could cause a timeout risk for Bad Batch if she's always cleansing buff immunity. Although, I think they do get a locked buff immunity. But anyway, it still just causes some problems for people. Then the Sand people, I was thinking I might take them on offense, but I have so many offensive teams, and I'm not sure how to use them looking at their info. I just think it should be a good, annoying team on defense. If everyone is listening to me and bring Radis on offense, this isn't going to work well for me, but I do have the optimal Datacron right now. So I think they're good on defense, but they could honestly be in the flex zone. And then Malgus, I definitely think Malgus needs to be firmly planted on defense. There's some clever uses for on offense, but I just don't think it's worth it. I think this is such a good team. It's good to draw Sith Eternal Emperor, Supreme Leader Kylo. It can beat Jedi Master Luke. I mean, I don't think you're going to beat this team easily with Jedi Master Luke anymore, with all the extra tankiness to them. Unless you bring Mace Windu and Jedi Knight Luke both. And Jedi Master Luke is probably going to just fall flat here, especially with the extra R9s. This is an awesome team, and I love it on defense. And if you like Trench, which I do not, you could just set this team on defense, but you have to give up Wat Tambor, and I'd only recommend it if you have the perfect setup with Datacrons, the Trench level 9, and the Riposte level 6. And this is pretty much the only team that's going to get anything done as far as Trench. So I'm not going to rank it highly. This isn't in rank order, by the way. It's just like in the order I came up with them. I'm not going to say it's a great defensive team, but if you use it, it goes on defense. And then this is the Zori team. I put Rose if you have the Omi. I do not. If you don't have it, OG Poe is better, and that's usually who I'm going to use. I don't know if I'd give Rose her Omicron anytime soon, but she's ready. She's R5, that's all you need. And this is just, I mean, it still has such high potential. And in 5v5, it's going to be way more durable. And their damage is plenty to get through anything. I mean, when I attacked them with a preloaded Zori a while back with even a Lord Vader, they just gunned him down like nobody's business. So they don't need extra offense. That extra survivability is amazing for them, and I'm going to be scared of this team. And General Skywalker, I kind of alluded to it earlier. I've always on the gas is a defensive character train. But if Seer starts becoming more common, I might bring him on offense just to handle Seer because she is scary. But this team is going to be crazy. I don't know how much Galactic Legend counter potential it actually has because they all have the benefit of the extra bulk. But he's definitely much improved with all that extra protection. I mean, think 60% extra protection will put him over 200k. That's going to be insane. And then Scoundrel team, it's like I don't have Vandor Chewbacca, so sometimes I place this on defense, just give him IG-11 and Queel, Beskar Mando, and Hondo. People have tripped up on it. It's not something I'm like counting on to get tons of holds, but it's like kind of on the fringe for me of a defensive team. And then Seer. This team is scary. I put it in my 7 Deadly Teams video, and I stick by it. That was before Malicos came out. It was like 2 days before it or something. When Malicos comes out, you can replace Maul there. I definitely think Maul would be better with Lord Vader in that circumstance. But this team, Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, if you've seen some of my videos recently, she has insane damage output under Seer lead. And it's not specific Datacron dependent. Yes, there are level 9s that have had Cal or Ahsoka, and that really helps. But it's mainly Seer's lead that's juicing up ATF. And then you add Maul too, there's so much damage. And then Kylo Ren Mass is crazy survivable in this team. Just load him up with health. But if you're facing me, don't use this. If you're facing me, this is a terrible team. Don't set it. And then this is the Saw Gerrera team, I guess. I don't know if it'd be good on offense. On defense, I think it has great banner stealing potential. Unless you bring something with high protection recovery. It's really annoying. It really is just kind of an annoying team if you have the right stuff geared up. You could also put like good rebel fighters like Kyle Katarn and Cara Dune. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to have them in serviceable shape for a while. And even when I do get them to 7 stars, I'm just going to leave them at gear 12 for the Cal requirement. So those are defensive teams. Fewer than offense, and several Galactic Legends have not been mentioned so far because they are all in flex. And they are in flex because they're basically all the best teams. Like the best teams could go on offense or defense, and that's what makes you a dangerous GAC player if you can switch them up wisely. Starting with Jedi Master Kenobi, I still think this is the best team overall. You need something different to counter Jabba. I think you want Bad Batch Echo in here somewhere to dispel and daze Jabba. But this, offense or defense, it's going to be insane. On defense, it's crazy with extra bulk. And then Jabba benefits less from all the extra bulk, but still an amazing team. And you have to figure out how to deal with Jabba. Jabba doesn't have to figure out how to deal with you. So if you place him on defense, if Afra still works, then he's definitely going to be just offense only in my mind. But I don't know if Afra's going to work still. Maybe she will. I don't know. But yeah, great on offense or defense. And then Rey, I like it on offense or defense. But on defense, Starkiller, has been giving her a hard time. So that could be an issue. But on offense, this is just a really smooth team. You can take out almost anything except I probably wouldn't take on a Jabba with it, but you can even beat a Jedi Master Kenobi or Lord Vader if you play your cards right. They're such a good team. Just be clever what you do with it. If your opponent is easily beating Rey's with Starkiller, bring it on offense. And then Lord Vader, I am convinced he will be good. I don't know which exact comp to use. This particular one showing here doesn't have Maul in it. But if you're bringing Lord Vader on offense, and then you're bringing Maul on offense, you have the flexibility to decide which one to use where. For defense, if you're setting him on defense, I definitely would put Maul. But this is more of kind of an offensive comp where you can just pick your battles. And, if he's not on defense, if he's on offense, I wouldn't take him against Rey. It's hard to know the best use for him. He could be good for Jabba, for sure. Because he does have Jabba's number. Jabba can't kill Lord Vader, but it's like a timeout risk. And if there's all the extra survivability, even more so. So just be picky and choosy. It's really just hard to decide what to do with him. And then CLS. CLS is, a lot of people think of it as an offensive team, and it kind of is, because you can get some cheap counters for on defense if your Iden team is good enough. But I definitely love this either way. It's a really quick team right out the gate, tons of damage. Great to counter Afra. And just, yeah, really valuable to have on either side. But this is one of the teams that's just definitely used every Grand Arena. It's not like you're like, oh, I didn't use my CLS Han and Chewie. You're finding use of them. And then Afra, I'm not sure how she's going to do. And this is like, I don't know, the second or third time I've showed Darth Vader. But this really is a flex. It could go on defense. I have the 5v5 lead Omicron on Afra, so that can be threatening. But on offense, if they can take out Jabba, that's tremendous value. But we just have to wait and see if that can happen. With the extra bulkiness, yes, they can survive more, but the big problem is killing Boosh and like Skip Lando fast enough with Vader. And if you're not getting tons of extra offense, I don't really know how that's going to work out. And General Grievous, this, I mean, it is a flex. You can take out, I mean, you used to be able to take out Jedi Master Luke. I don't know if that's going to work anymore right now. They can take out Starkiller teams if people are not wise enough and place them. On defense, I do think it is good. It can be a good trap with the extra bulk from the level 3. Grievous is going to be really souped up on health, tons of extra damage, and I think it's probably going to be more Wampa proof this season than normal. But it can go either way. If your GG isn't up to snuff and he's getting wrecked by Wampas, probably take him on offense. But still a really valuable team. Then the Scoundrels team. I don't know what to do with Scoundrels because I'm dumb, maybe, or just behind, and I don't have Vandal Chewbacca at Relic 5. Don't have the Dash Omicron. If you have the Dash Omicron, this is great on offense. And then IG-11 and Queel. You can find other uses for BAM with Bounty Hunters or Mandalorians, and then you can just put these two with Dash, and then Hondo, put him somewhere. Could be good on defense or good on offense. It's really cheesable when you have the Omicron for Dash because you can just stay alive forever and just pick people apart. But for me, he's not as good as he is for other people. And then Reva. At first I had this on offense only, but it truly is a flex. I mean, if people aren't bringing Reva, or no, Traya on offense, this is still going to be a really hard team to deal with. However, I mean, no, they benefit so much from the bulk too. I mean, Reva's going to be so thick. She might even be able to eat a whirlwind. She probably will, actually. But she's really tough to deal with. And even if their damage doesn't increase too much, they have tons of damage to begin with. So they're just Galactic Legend beaters. I've been playing around with them in Arena, and they're not like rolling over like Galactic Legend teams if they have the bulk Datacron. So you got to be choosy. It's not just like, oh, amazing auto win against Galactic Legends with them, but they are amazing. I'm glad to have an R8 Reva for this 5v5 season. And then the last couple, we'll get Geonosians. They're not an amazing team, but if you have the Poggle Datacron, you can make it work either on offense or defense. For me, I would just keep them on offense because I don't have that good DC, and my Poggles are 4, as you see. So, yeah, not super threatening on defense, but it's kind of a good cleanup team. They can take out Rey, a solo Rey pretty well, and that's a good use for them on offense. And then this is the last squad I'm going over. I hope I didn't forget any squads. But Night Sisters, if you have the Omis, I think they're a good flex team. They are very useful on offense. You'll probably kill Jabba with them right now because they have specialized Datacrons for Marin. If you have the zombie Datacron, by the way, and you have an R7 zombie, that's amazing. And that's a good flex use. But in this team, actually, It's like the third mistake. You don't want Spirit there, I don't think. You want Zombie. I was looking for the word Zombie in this list for some reason, but that is not going to be there. So you want Zombie. You don't want any green in this squad. You want all red and like grays. But yeah, great team. I look forward to getting Marin up and running and then bring the rest of my team to R5 with Asajj and Talzin. But yeah, this is a great team. I am sad to not have it. If you have it, make use of it. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope my voice was not too impaired to be an annoyance to you. I'm glad I was able to get this video before Grand Arena starts. Let me know what you think. Who should be in offense, defense, or flex that I didn't put there? Are there any squads I forgot? Love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.